Okay, folks, it is time for basically the second half of this class, and that is we are finally to crowdfunding time. We're going to build your crowdfunding project, we're going to promote your crowdfunding project, and we're going to fulfill your crowdfunding project. Let's first check in with what you should have so far. I'm going to drop you a worksheet with the first easy couple things: your artist name and your project title, and an elevator pitch for your project. We're going to craft several different elevator pitches for your project for a few different audiences, but I want you to, at this point, know what your project is and know what it's called. So this might be, you know, Bruce Springsteen's new album, a great album for friends, or, you know, my next book, title of your next book, or a series of paintings, this, or if it's a more of an ongoing project, it might be fund the ongoing production of music videos for this band, help me fund the ongoing work of this of an artist, help me continue to write my blog posts, help me continue to fund my podcast, whatever. That is, just know what your art project is. Mission statement for your art. That's what we created in our very first unit. Mission statement for what you want to get out of your project. So those are two different things, and you should have those, and you should have them written down right in front of you at all times, because this is when you're really going to start needing them. You have an audience right now that's in the process of getting more engaged through content posted weekly and through that one-click, easy-to-access content. You have a discovery-ready website and social media sites. Yes. You have an audience in the process of growing, not only getting more engaged, but also growing through you putting yourself out there in collaboration, communities, and going to the point of low competition. And these people are joining your community, your mailing list, following you on social media through one-click engagement options. And I think I've said it enough, but just following you on social media is nice, but actually getting your existing fans and new fans on a mailing list is ideal. I would say, if not mandatory, then highly suggested, because social media is nice, but it is not going to be the way that for most people is guaranteed to get in their inbox. I mean, think about how often you see every single post that somebody posts on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. It's very rare, especially for if you think about every single person that follows you, they're not going to see every single post you post. Whereas an email that you send out is usually going to have an open rate of 20 to 40%, and that is way, way, way higher than how many people are going to see each tweet or Facebook post or Instagram that you share. So that is what you have right now. Excellent. So I'm going to start telling you now about the crowdfunding units. First of all, this is going to be split into two different sections, and that is going to be for ongoing and for one-time projects. A one-time project is when there is a big, when the piece of art you are creating is one big project that starts and ends. So this is something like a album, a film, oftentimes a book. This is where you would go to a project like Kickstarter, Seed and Spark, Indiegogo, or GoFundMe. Those are the platforms. Or, you would get a grant outside of crowdfunding. This is going to be described in this class under the Kickstarter header or the one-time header for shorthand. And this is, I would recommend looking at these if you're just going to go one way, if you are planning to fund one project one time. Typically, this is going to be a 30-day or less fundraising project, and this is going to be something that you will build up to, market for 30 days, and then everybody gets charged, and then you go and make the thing. And that is the beginning, middle, and end of the whole project. An ongoing project is when the art itself is something that recurs, stretches over an indefinite period of time, or is not a specific piece of art at all. So this might be something like a podcast that is weekly forever. It's not just, a 5-episode podcast. It's something that is, say I want to charge every time I want to fundraise for every time I make a music video, and I make music videos one time a month, or 6 times a year, or 4 times a month, that kind of thing. It's a more frequent project. Or perhaps I am constantly writing blog posts. I am in the process of writing a book over the series of over several years, and I want to constantly be sharing my process with an audience who wants to be kind of donating like a tip jar to keep my life going while that's happening. And they'll be reading the chapters as it happens. So this is where something you've probably heard of Patreon. This is the Patreon method. There are other platforms that do this. The Patreon being the most popular, but you can even set up your own through PayPal. Twitch is another popular kind of ongoing crowdfunding platform. In this particular class, we will be putting this under the Patreon or ongoing crowdfunding header. And then, in addition to splitting it up, those two headers by ongoing and one time, we will also be splitting up into this order of all of the different things you need to get in order as you plan, launch, and market your crowdfunding project. Rewards, so that's what your audience gets. Your goal and budget, so setting up how much money you need and how much money you're going to spend. The crowdfunding page, that is the landing page and the basic marketing of your project. A marketing timeline and getting together your marketing assets. How to promote the project while it's happening. Reacting to the unexpected, which is going to be sort of the real time as the project is being marketed process. And then the afterward surveys and fulfillment. I should say that this is going to be a little bit fluid, and I definitely want you to absorb all this information before you click launch. For example, rewards, like if you were to be crowdfunding for a book or an album, you need to know how much that's going to cost before you can do your budget. But as you're doing your budget, that might influence what kind of rewards you can get. These things are all going to feed into each other. As you build your crowdfunding page, you might realize you need to hire an artist to help you make a video, and that's going to go back to your rewards or go back to your budget. Or you might have an idea of how that can tie into your rewards. So this is all kind of tying into each other. Some of your rewards might feed into your marketing and vice versa. So while this is written out in a linear list right here, it's not necessarily a linear process. You're always going to be bouncing back and forth. So you may find yourself going back and accessing the worksheets or even the videos again as you go through this process. It's very exciting. So yes, please make sure you have everything done as to this point. Check out the worksheet that goes along with this video and write down all of the exciting steps that you have done so far so that you are ready to hop right into rewards in the next video. It's exciting times now. Let's get crowdfunding.